Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be profiling a Drytron list post the ban list with Eva back to 1 copy. The deck is in a very interesting place with Eva being back because you can kind of opt to play the deck with the new support or kind of the old way with Eva. I personally think that the new way with new 2 is better. We are still playing new 2 in this list, but I want to just kind of showcase what you can do with Eva because it definitely feels like the classic Drytron of the past when it was first released, but I think the new 2 version is just probably a little bit more resilient if you just focus on like smaller end boards with the new Draconids and whatnot. But I'll show you the list that I'm playing. It's 41 cards currently. Names wise, we're trying to go for a bit of a heavier name count because the Drytron names is ultimately what gets the deck going. So I'm playing 3 Alpha, 3 Zeta, 3 Gamma. Gamma's just, I really like Gamma as a name for when you get hand trapped a bunch. It still allows you just to set up the Fuko and just try and survive the turn at worst case. Playing 2 Delta, a Beta just as an additional name, and then the 1 Nutu. We don't want to max out on Nutu because we're trying not to lock ourselves. This is just like a turn 3 thing or a just in case thing, or in like if we open just Nova, we can do the 1 card combo that we have access to with the Nutu lines. And we're playing just the 1 Draconids. Not playing the smaller Draconids, just because it's a big body. It allows us to still set up interruptions under some interruptions, and it's not the focal point of the deck, but these names going for. So we're going for a heavier name count. There are cards like Pre-Preparation of Rights that you could play, and Preparation. I was originally playing this to just test it out, but ultimately, the fairies don't really do anything for combos. Like seeing Ben 10 is nice, and seeing like pre-prep to search like the Herald is nice, but it doesn't ultimately really get you there unless the other cards in your hand are great. Whereas like just opening a bunch of names allows you to still do things. So I've still tried to keep the fairy package like minimal, without doing like as much without devoting like some of these extra spots to it. Just with the other Drytron side of things, we're playing the 3 Emergency, the 3 Nova, the 1 Fafnir. So these are all just additional names. We're playing the 1 Medionis, 1 Foolish Burial, and a Pot of Prosperity. Obviously, Pot of Prosperity and Delta do clash, but we're only barely get access to 1 Prosperity now, so we may as well play it. Then for the fairy side of things, we are on the 3 Benten. We get to play Natasha again. Probably one of the biggest benefits of this build is that we get Natasha back. Natasha's just crazy. And we're playing the 1 Herald of Perfection as just our main end board. We get access to Herald of the Orange Light as a non-engine spot if we do open it alongside our fairy. We're then playing 1 Choju of the Trillion Hands. This card's crazy, just allows you to access Herald plus the Ritual spell. Could also let you search for Ben 10 or the Medionis Drytron, for example, as well. And then I'm on 1 Divana and 1 Eva as well. So Eva allowed to be played. And then the last couple of cards, this would just be drop load. It's just any non-engine spot really. And then I'm playing a Call by the Grave and the Scylla Hat Trick just for the rabbit, which we are playing as well, just to kind of diversify the end board. We kind of lose. Not super hard to Dark Ruler, but by having access to this, or it could be the Angel Statue, we just don't lose as hard to Dark Ruler. Still hurts though. The extra deck, we are playing 2 Mubeta. We don't need to play 3 in this build. The Fuko, the Downed, and the Zeus, of course. Playing Goddess, playing SP Little Knight with IP and the Rabbit, which we mentioned before. Herald of the Mirage Lights, you don't have to play this. I like it. I like that you can stick it on the end board, and even if you get like Dark Rulered. So between these 3, in most hands, you can make 1 to 2 of them on the end board. Sometimes you can make all 3 if the hand is just super crazy, but you can generally access a number of these. And you've just got to kind of pick which ones you want to end on. Even like maybe post like side deck, if it's like a game 2 or 3 and you're going first, you might opt to end on this one just because like under board breakers, like even you like end on these 2 because like your Herald already carries, so you don't need IP. The But these two just both allow you to play around like Dark Ruler just that bit better. If this gets outed, you get to recur things, and you should just win on the crackback. The rabbit obviously sets the trap card to give you some more interruptions. So that's what I personally like, is just, especially post-sideboard, these are really good. But you just opt between the three of which ones you want to kind of end on. Dynamondo, Phoenix, Anima, all just standard cards you would play. And then of course we're playing the Diviner targets, Herald and Entis. I will show you an Alpha Zeta combo, and then we can just do some test tens. Okay, so this is going to be Alpha Zeta. Of course, it's going to start off with Alpha Tribute Zeta. Going to grab Benten. Then going to go Zeta Tribute the Benten. Grab the Ritual spell. And we're going to grab the Choju. Can overlay for Mu Beta, who will send the Gamma, which will be great for follow-up and just for like future plays. We can then go Medionis, detach this for Benten. We can do the Medionis now. It doesn't really matter. So we go Medionis, target the Fafnir, add back to hand, and then we contribute the Benten for Choju. That's the 5th summon, and the Choju is going to trigger as well as the Benten. We'll go this Chainlink 1, Benten, Chainlink 2. Benten is going to grab Benten because at worst, so we can, at worst case is that we can now play, like the field here doesn't really matter. So if we do get like Nibiru, it really doesn't matter because we're going to have everything in our hand that we need. Choju is going to grab Herald and the Ritual spell. Because like the hand here now with everything here is fine. We've got the Gamma in the graveyard to just keep playing, but yeah, so Nibiru here just doesn't matter. But now we go Dawn and we tribute the Benten and we summon out the Herald. Sorry, I should clarify. The Benten, that's right, the Nibiru does matter a little bit in that we don't have a fairy in hand to tribute specifically. So if we had an additional fairy, what we could actually do is just go Dawn, tribute the Choju, summon out the Herald. That way we've got a fairy in hand in case they do go Nibiru, because then if we don't have a fairy, when we summon Herald, Nibiru just does wreck us until our Benten resolves. But this is probably the better way to do it. Summon the Herald now, but we're just gonna go the no fear of Nibiru for now. So the Benten is going to go Chainlink 1, Dawn Chainlink 2 will banish and add back Benten, and we're resolving Benten to search as well. We'll grab Eva here. And then from here, we don't actually really need the second Medionis, so we can fire that off, take a material from here, bring back Benten. And then we can tribute the Benten for Gamma and a friend. The tributed Benten is going to search for the Herald of Orange Light. And you can see, so how we're kind of ending here is we've got 4 bodies that can be turned into any number of link materials. So it's 2 out of the 3 guys that we talked about here. So it could be, well, if we are going to make Herald, it's got to be just 2 of the names to make the Herald. I like to always go for the rabbit. So take 2. We'll use the Choju just so we've still got access to Mirage if we want it. So here's rabbit. Rabbit effect is going to set the trap card that we play. And then the last 2 names can become IP or Herald. Doesn't really matter which one. So it's one of these. And then we have the 3 cards in hand as well. So what we're ending with here in terms of our board is we still have our 3 Drytron names in the graveyard for just like the next turn to follow up. We've got Benten in hand, which we want to hold. Obviously, if we absolutely need it, we can tribute it for the Herald, sorry, pitch it for the Herald, but we'd rather not. What we want to do is pitch Eva for the Herald negate. And then what can happen is that Eva is going to banish, it can banish the Choju and the Benten in order to grab Herald and Diviner. And And then this does give us, we still have 3 more negates, so that would be 4 negates total with the Herald. It can be 5 if we want to keep the Benton around, but our opponent only has 6 cards, right? So between like the trap card that we have and the IP, if we go for IP, that can kind of deal with the last card if Herald deals with 5 of them. If we do get Dark Rulered, so this is back in the hand, this is here, we'll say that we went for like the Herald, not the IP, because it's game 2, whatever. If we do get Dark Rulered, Herald becomes follow-up if we do get outed. So if this goes to graveyard, we get to add back a ritual and a spell. So it could be these 2. These would go back to the hand, right? So it's just, it's nice follow-up there. Otherwise, if we do get Dark Rulered, we have interruption here with the hat trick. These 2 can still pitch each other. So Herald, pitch Eva to negate a monster effect. And then we get to search for another Herald and Diviner, which gives us a second monster effect to negate and destroy. So we can still deal with 3 big things. So the hat trick can negate 2 things. So if we wait a little bit, but often we're probably just trading 1 for 1 with this. And then this gives us 2 big monster negate and destroys, plus some follow-up as well. Otherwise what we can, no, so we can't do that. No, I'm lying. But otherwise that's kind of the alpha Zeta board that we go for in this variation of the deck. And now I'll just do some test hands just to kind of look for consistency and see how the hands are dealt. All right, so we're going to do some test hands and we'll see how they look. So we've got Gamma, Nova, Dark Ruler, Emergency, and a Dark Ruler. So I mean, this hand is fine. Opening double Dark Ruler is what it is, but I mean, with a deck like, with the Desiree negation being able to stop Dark Ruler, having double is fine. Like we can kind of out the board pretty well with this and then just kind of go for a Zeus if we're going second. Obviously we're drawing a 6th card, which is useless. But otherwise we've got Nova and Emergency, which does give us access to Engine. We do play a little bit harder into Nibiru, so that's potentially disastrous. Obviously what that would look like is if we go for our ritual, bring back our Ben 10, the Ben 10 then would be the 5th summon, which is not terrible. I mean, Ben 10 just gets distributed. We do kind of, well, we don't lose access to, no, actually it doesn't really matter because our Choju can just tribute the Nibiru token, for example, and we can just kind of keep playing from there. But this hand's fine. I was going to make a comment about just the lack of non-engine in this deck. So we've only got Dark Ruler and Herald, and obviously Herald needs to be drawn alongside a Fairy. So non-engine is really lacking in this space. So in the other variant where you can play a lot more non-engine just by cutting out all of the Fairy package, essentially, like most of the Fairy package can be cut when you're playing Nutu. You get a lot more access to board breakers or hand traps if that's what you want to do. So we're lucky that we did draw kind of like the double breakers. So if we were going up against, you know, like a Fiendsmith combo, U-Bell, whatever, we could maybe do something about it. But one thing we're going to see is that this deck is not going to draw much in the way of non-engine all the time. And our engine is fairly disruptible. I mean, it does lose to some hand traps. Bestials are obviously very common. Shifter is crazy common. Like if you're not playing a Snake Eyes deck, you're probably playing Shifter somewhere in there. So we've got Choju, Nova, Herald, Delta, and Gamma. So it's interesting. Obviously going second, we do have a Herald negate live, which is nice. Going second, we'd have a 6th card, which is Ben 10. So we'll probably hold this one. But going first, the combo is going to look vastly different. So what we'd probably be doing here is going for Nova to summon out Alpha. Now we kind of really want the Alpha to get us access to Ben 10. So what we would be doing is we'd probably be actually linking off the Alpha for Anima, and then using it to tribute Delta and summon itself out and get the Ben 10. Now I've already got Choju, so we do have a tribute summon available to grab like the Herald stuff, and that's probably just the best thing to do at the moment. So it's probably going to be something like tribute Anima, summon Choju, use its effect to grab, we can just grab the Herald stuff here. We've got the Delta Engrave, which we haven't used yet, but we're trying to see if we can, we could use that now. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4 summons. Herald can still be the 1, 2, 3. We're on 3 summons. currently, alpha, anima, alpha twice. So that we're on 4 summons here. So we probably should be thinking about Nibiru too. We can go Dawn, tribute Choju, summon Herald. Actually, we can tribute the Benton here, simply because we do have the Herald of Orange Light in hand. So we can go Dawn, tribute the Benton, just because this gives us a lot more value to summon out Herald. Probably we want Herald over in the corner. Then we're going to get Chainlink 1, Benton, Chainlink 2, Dawn to put back Benton. Benton's going to search as a card. We'll probably grab Eva now, just as a fairy that we have access to. I was trying to see if I could get the Delta draw. I could if I grab a second, instead of Eva, grab Benton, which we're going to do. So we'll, just to maximize our kind of card economy here, we'll grab another Benton. And now what we'll do is we'll go Delta, tribute the Benton. It'll summon, we'll reveal Benton, we'll draw a card. Oh, that card again. And this Benton will trigger to add Eva. That's right, now we don't have to make Rabbit, so we can actually go for like IP and Herald of Mirage Lights. But we still have Gamma. We haven't actually even accessed Mu Beta yet, so there's still probably there's still definitely things that we can do. So we can go Mu Beta here. We can throw Zeta into graveyard just because we don't have access to it. Go Zeta, tribute Gamma. Grab Medionis. Now we can go Medionis, take from Mu Beta Fafnir, just because again we don't really need it for anything else to bring out Benton. We can kind of just loop Benton a little bit. We'll use Medionis target Zeta to add itself back to hand. We're going to just clear a little bit of space here, so we can take Choju and Zeta, turn them into IP Masquerena, and then we can use Gamma, tribute Benton, bring back a friend. Benton will trigger. We can grab, it's probably just going to be another Orange Light, because that leaves an Orange Light and the Diviner in deck to search for from the Ava. We've also got a Benton and a Natasha in the deck still, but we can grab them at any other point in the future. It's fine. And now we can take these two and turn them into Mirage Lights. I mean, if we really wanted to, but we really don't need to, is we could, well, the other thing we could do, sorry, actually, if I'm really thinking about it, is instead of making Herald of Mirage Lights there, what we could do is actually, we can overlay these for Fuko, just to really make sure that we survive. We could then go Medionis, take this off Mu Beta to bring back Benton. No, actually we don't have names, so we can't actually go into the Mirage Light. So that's another option, is to do that. Is there another way we can do that? No, not really, because we need the 2 level 1s to make Fuko. So we can't actually make the Herald of Mirage Lights. Maybe we could have done it a different way, but we could just turn these into SP Little 9 if we really want to. We don't need to. We could just leave the Mu Beta on there for the follow-up too, if we so prefer. But it's all just hypothetical, right? We can set the hat trick as well. So we could just shotgun this at any point just to make sure that we don't lose to Dark Ruler, hardcore. We could just, this can stick around. IP really can now only tag, you can tag into Goddess still, or Dynamondo, which is still a pretty good card. But we've got a whole bunch of Fairy Negates for perfection. I mean, we can actually now use 3 Orange Light. So if we do get Dark Rulered, we've got Orange Light pitch Eva, grab Orange Light Diviner, Orange Light pitch Diviner, Orange Light pitch Benton. We can resolve all 3 Orange Lights there if we had to, if we got Dark Rulered in that board. Plus we got the hat trick to still deal with, that's 4 things that we can now deal with. But yeah, that was a pretty good test hand, just for what it was. We're not going to play through all of them. It's just going to just look at hypothetical situations. But I just wanted to kind of test that one out just with not an immediate alpha zeta. Opening the Choju kind of worked out really nice in that hand. We've got Zeta, Orange Light, Gamma, Eva, and Beta. So going second, we've got one just big negation. The Eva can banish Orange Light to add Diviner. So it just gives us a normal summon to play with to help break a board. Our 6th card would be Nova. So got a lot of engine to push. So that was, but as far as this engine goes, we don't have access to the Ben 10 immediately. It would be something like Zeta, Tribute, Beta, add Ritual Spell. Because we have a 3rd name, we can definitely make it work. So we get Medionis here, and then it would be Beta, Tribute the Gamma to put it in the graveyard. This is why playing 3 Gamma is nice. I like having access to it. It's just a personal preference thing for me. This would be Mu Beta, dump Alpha, and now we can get stuck a little bit. So we kind of have to ditch the Mu Beta for the Alpha here. There's not really any other way around it, which grabs Ben 10. And then it would be Gamma, Tribute Ben 10, pull back a friend. So this is not an ideal kind of like test hand at all. We're really just trying our best here to make something. We can grab Choju. We can still beat Nibiru, so we can kind of play around a little bit. We could go for like a second, if we don't need to go to the second Mu Beta. We could probably just use the names. So if we went like Medionis, turn a name into a Ben 10, we could tribute the Ben 10 for Choju and go that way. So that's pretty good. We still have some bodies around. This protects us from Nibiru. But we can still probably salvage the hand. Opening the 3 names definitely made that better. I'll just do one more. And we'll see what we can get. Okay, we've got Emergency, the Hat Trick, Gamma, Diviner, and Dark Ruler. So this hand's not ideal. Obviously opening this is never going to be ideal. We only have access to 1 good name. Gamma is, obviously it's okay, but we kind of want to be playing the game as well a little bit. So we'll go the Emergency. I don't think we want, like, because we've got Diviner as a normal summon already, what we might do is we will grab, could go for Zeta. I mean, Diviner already grabs us either option, so we probably actually, no, we just do grab Alpha. And I'm inclined to go Gamma, Tribute, Alpha. It brings itself out. We haven't used the Alpha effect yet. We turn these, no, we definitely make this, we'll make this Zeta. So it's Gamma, Tribute, Zeta, overlay for Mu Beta, send Alpha. And then we can go Alpha, Tribute, the Mu Beta to summon out, grab Ben 10. And then we can go Zeta, Tribute, Ben 10. So we kind of got around to Alpha Zeta, but a bit more costly way to get there. We'll grab Choju off Ben 10 and the Medionis. So this was me just trying to not have to normal summon the Diviner and still get access to most of the combo. Could it just be better to normal summon Diviner and just go for something like less Herald related, but Herald's just so good that's probably just the way to go. So we go for Mu Beta. Obviously we can't use the effect. Again, similar to the previous hand, we could opt to just hold it and just go Medionis, turn a name into Ben 10, tribute for Choju, Ben 10, add Ben 10. Although we don't have a way to tribute this anymore. Choju, add the Dawn and the Perfection. So because we actually can't tribute this Ben 10 anymore, no, well, we can tribute it with Dawn. That's not true. So It's fine that it keeps Choju on the field for linking away. We can go Dawn, tribute the Ben 10 in hand because we've got Diviner to pitch off Herald. Summon Herald, go Chainlink 1, Ben 10, Chainlink 2, Dawn to add back Ben 10. And then we grab Eva. Then we turn our 2 monsters here into IP, because we already have the hat trick, and we can set it. So again, if that was the most optimal way to do it, who knows? But we've got, again, a bunch of negations here to use. We don't have Herald of Orange Light and Herald of Orange Light. So if we get Dark Ruled here, then we are probably just in a pickle. We've just got the hat trick to try and survive. But with the Herald of Perfection, we can definitely discard the Eva. What we could still do, under Dark Rule, we could still definitely just pay the cost of Herald. Yes, we just pay the cost of Herald to pitch the Eva and then grab an Orange Light. So we could still do that under Dark Ruler, which is a possibility. But in any case, that's going to be it for this one. Let me know in the comments if you think this or just like the new 2 builds are better. I personally think the new 2 builds are better just because with access to the 1-card combo, the deck feels more consistent. I mean, obviously, even with some like more scuffed hands, we were able to get to something resembling a full combo. But yeah, this is definitely a 2-card combo deck, whereas the new 2 builds can operate a lot better under 1 card. One thing to consider in this deck as well is that, and this is why we're maxing out on more names, is you don't have access to like the 1 name hand. So in the previous builds when Beatrice was legal, 1 name plus like Benten could still access you the combo through Beatrice, but we don't have Beatrice anymore. So yeah, I personally think the new 2 build is probably just better, but this is definitely a lot of fun to play, and being able to just send a bunch of fairy negates with perfection just feels good. But otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one.